Hello and welcome to Cowg's virtual wellbeing programme. I'm Nicola Russell and I'm a nutritionist and I specialise in gut health, but more specifically in IBS, as it's an area that I suffered with for a very long time, and so I feel I can empathise with people. Now, I'm here today to talk to you about vitamin D, which actually does have a relationship to gut health, in case you think there's a bit of a wide leap. Please excuse the fact I'm looking at my notes because I can't do this, and actually reading off a script is even worse. So I am going to start off to talk to you about the importance of vitamin D, in so much that no matter how much you get through the sunlight, how much you supplement, or how much you've already got stored in your body, if your gut health is not sorted, then it's not metabolized into its active form. Now, most of you know vitamin D as the nutrient that's associated most with rickets, and it's assumed, therefore, if you don't have rickets, you are not deficient in vitamin D. The recommended daily amounts of vitamins is very strange in the way they're set. Basically, they're set at a point that you won't get the disease that they're associated with, so vitamin D rickets, vitamin C scurvy, etc. However, it doesn't necessarily mean it's the optimal amount that you should get. And vitamin D is now being seen as a very, very important nutrient that is associated, or its deficiency is associated with lots of diseases, not just rickets. And in fact, in regards to COVID, it's been very important in regards to immunity. I don't know if you've seen that in all the papers. And it's basically known as an iceberg nutrient because, as that image suggests, you think everything's all right, but there's a lot of stuff going on under the surface and it could be causing loads of problems. Now, vitamin D can take many forms, but the one that you would routinely get tested for at the doctors can detect only one, which is an inactive precursor that can be stored in your body. So a test result might say that you have adequate levels, but your body may not be in a good enough state to convert it into its active form. So our gut bacteria, which is the viruses and bacteria, microbes that live in your digestive tract, plays an important role in health and disease. And it's only really now coming to the forefront of how important it is in regards to overall health. Now, in regards to vitamin D, the more variety of bacteria you have in your gut, the more the precursor vitamin D can be turned into its active form. So whilst greater microbiome diversity is necessary for the conversion of vitamin D, it is necessary for overall health because the gut bacteria ferment foods that you eat, most specifically fibre, and can turn it to other nutrients and also feed your gut cells. So it is really important. I know I'm just trying to tailor it down to vitamin D today, but it is important, and I believe everything starts in the gut. Now, there are actually vitamin D receptors located throughout your body in all the major organs, and it interacts with over 3,000 genes. Now, the benefit of an adequate vitamin D level is to obviously reduce the reduction of illnesses that it's most known for, bone disease and osteoporosis. But actually, it has been implicated, or insufficiency is associated with things like psoriasis, I'm reading now, psoriasis, multiple sclerosis, inflammatory bowel disease, type 1 diabetes, high blood pressure, heart failure, breast and other cancers. And it's projected the incidence of many of these diseases could be reduced by 20 to 50% or more if vitamin D deficiency was eradicated. Now, you can increase your exposure through sunlight, mainly in the summer months, because living in the UK, we don't have strong enough sun to produce vitamin D during the winter months, and therefore that's the time to supplement. And you can take supplements. The supplements that you take need to be of a really good quality. I recommend ones that are made from food. Now, talking of foods, being a nutritionist, obviously there are foods that contain vitamin D, but they only contribute a very small amount, and it's basically things like oily fish, like a wild salmon, eggs, and some mushrooms. You might have seen in supermarkets there are mushrooms and it says high in vitamin D, as in they're not all high in vitamin D, it's only certain ones. Now, how do you balance your microbiome, I hear you all shout? Well, it's not a small feat, and it's obviously the basis of my business. But the main tip I can give you is to increase the variety of foods that you eat. Most people stick to the same foods week in, week out. And so I usually give my clients a challenge of eating up to 30 different foods a week. And in that, I'm trying to get them to increase more of their plant foods. Now, the only downside to that is people with IBS or any dysfunctional gut disorders will have an issue when you increase fibre quite quickly. So do it, I would say, low and slow, and note down any ones that cause you real gut issues, because you might have a real issue with digesting them. But I'm going into gut health issues there. So yeah, top tip to increase the diversity of your gut bacteria is to increase diversity in your food, and therefore any vitamin D that you supplement, get from the sunlight, or have stored in your body will be metabolized into its active form. I hope you've enjoyed this 5-minute, I think it's a bit more actually, 5-minute talk for the Cowgie Virtual Wellbeing Programme. And I look forward to speaking to you and seeing you next time. Bye.